Hello everyone, Joy here. I'm back with this week's Minimalist home tour. In this week's Minimalist home tour, nothing much has changed. My home is not even super clean, but it's also not super dirty, the ordinary. But for the intro, I did want to talk about something related to happiness and minimalism. Now, the weather's getting warmer nowadays in Korea, so I've been noticing a lot of wildflowers, essentially. They're just growing out of random places. I have a couple of dandelions growing right in front of my shop next to a little electrical pole. And on the street, they're just wildflowers everywhere. Even if not many people notice it, I notice things like that. I've always loved those little tiny flowers that grow out of nowhere. And that's the thing, these flowers don't refuse to bloom just because they ended up in a spot that no one really actually looks at. Can you imagine if all flowers were like, I'm only going to bloom if the conditions are perfect and I'm potted in a beautiful, expensive pot. That's essentially how most people are, right? Human beings are remarkably resilient, and all of us have our own, flowers that needs to bloom. Some flowers are more beautiful because they choose to bloom in a random crack out of nowhere, and they inspire us because of the resilience and their beauty. And that is not to diss the beauty of, let's say, I don't know, certain types of flowers that can only grow in a perfect condition in a greenhouse. It's got their own beauty. But that's what I'm saying, right? The world would be so boring if all flowers were just the same and they needed certain condition to only bloom. And that's why I believe minimalism is actually tied to our own happiness. Because minimalism isn't really a competition of who owns less. It's more in the sense that we need some kind of discipline, right? If we don't learn to limit ourselves, limit our expectations, and prioritize, we will never truly be happy. For instance, I've noticed lately, I know someone in my life, unfortunately, and I've met many people like this. Even I used to behave like this when I'm not in a good mental state, where some people, they can never congratulate others on their success, and they can never really truly be happy for others. I've definitely met people like this before who could only appreciate you if you're doing slightly less than them. And it's a very sad state to be. You see them and they're never clapping when someone's getting an award. They're never happy for someone else getting a great promotion, great job, great opportunity. And they're only kind to people who are, somewhat less fortunate than them. And, I used to say this thing where, they say like, oh, I'm looking for my ride or die. People say like, oh, true friends are the ones who stay with you during hard times. I would like to add, of course, true friends stay with you even if you're going through a tough patch in your life. But I also think true friends or true lovers, true family, whatever, the truest people stay with you even during your highest times, even during your success. They know how to congratulate it and they celebrate it because they understand beauty of life and success in this life is not limited, and there's so many flavors of different things that you could accomplish, that you could be, just as how there's so many different variety of flowers. Because I practice minimalism, I don't let my surroundings or living situations shame me into not pursuing things that I'm passionate about. In fact, minimalism sort of helps me rewire my brain, basically, to not see limitations as limitations, but as opportunity to prioritize. Can you imagine if I relied my worth on simple things like how big my apartment was or how big my closet was? Then I'll never actually pursue things because I'll be like, no, the person who owns more brand bags deserve this opportunity to, I don't know, teach. Can you imagine, right? If we all based our worth on just how much stuff someone has. In fact, I like to argue because a lot of minimalists, including me, purposefully limit our possessions, we're forcing ourselves to not anchor our worth in simple things like material. When I meet a fellow human being and try to figure out what kind of what kind of value I can add to their life, I'm not going to be able to rely on how expensive I look. Do you know what I mean? And there's something wonderful, of course, about looking beautiful. It's my job, actually, as a beautician, basically, to make other people look beautiful. But that shouldn't be the only thing that determines our worth. Another thing minimalism is very useful is that you will always meet a bigger fish, right? They always say when you succeed and reach a certain level, there's always someone above it, and there's always someone above it, and it fluctuates even, right? Truth of the matter is you will never be the best person at everything all the time forever. There's bound to be people who are doing better than you in certain aspects of life, And that's just the fact of life. That's just like a variety of flowers. So instead of feeling, anxious or jealous even, or, insecure because you're comparing yourself constantly with others, why don't you adopt the philosophy of minimalism, which is each individual prioritizes what matters to them the most. And that could even fluctuate, right? What matters to you the most right now can vary depending on the individual. And that is the key to my happiness, because I'm able to sit here and see someone succeed in certain areas, even the area that I wanted to succeed in more than them, but they're succeeding. And when I see it, I realize, this is a time for me to prioritize my life in a way that I can also succeed, and I can celebrate their success and even try to get close to them to see if I can learn a thing or two. That's the thing about life. And I talked about this before. Simple truths in life never change. Progress, working on yourself, is always better than being destructive, and it also requires more discipline. That's why it's more beautiful when it happens. I read this book a while back. It was a book written by some guy in his 20s, maybe early 30s, very young guy who became a multimillionaire, right? And I just remember this one phrase he said in his book. I can't remember the name of this book for the life of me, but it was a Korean man. But he was saying how you should purposefully surround yourself with people who are doing better than you. You want to be in a room with people that you want to learn a thing or two from, instead of, constantly trying to make sure others are doing worse than you, right? And when you're in that room, you might feel a little insecure, of course, because, this wealthy, successful people will talk about their success and you might feel inferior. Maybe they're showing off, as they should, right? It's their success. But you're also able to upgrade because you're learning subconsciously and consciously. And this is also something another famous business person has said, I think. If you're in a room where everybody else is smarter than you, you're in trouble, because what will you learn, right? Again, being smart is also, there's a variety of version of it, right? Some people are more street smart, some people are more book smart, some people are street smart and book smart, some people are more artistically smart, some people are more emotionally smart. I hate to put people into the grades, but I do think that there is a state that all of us can be in that is actually higher state than the state where you're constantly comparing yourself. You're never happy for other people's success. You're always jealous. People could have more than you. People could have more opportunities, more power, more beauty than you, and still be jealous of you. And that is actually an unfortunate state to be in. And I do think that the key to staying happy and focused and constantly improving is an act of discipline. And I think all of us are also susceptible to being in this negative mindset of always constantly making sure that we are having unfair advantage or doing better than other people, wishing that we were better than other people without actually working towards that thing, so on and so forth. So let us all upgrade our mindset today. You could compare the notes to celebrate the differences, but never compare the notes of your life. Never compare the state of your home, your financial situation, to feel bad about yourself or to be hating on other people. Because I'm telling you, how much you actually have, it ultimately doesn't really matter if you're constantly unhappy in your head, because there's always a bigger fish out there. Let's say we meet someone who accomplished everything, but what they cannot accomplish is have more time, because time passes whether we want it or not, So you could be more successful, but then you could still be jealous of someone's youth. Do you know what I mean? There's no end to comparison. And minimalism is an absolutely useful tool to prioritize what matters to you the most right in this moment in your life. And when you actually learn this lesson, you learn to be happy for other people's success. And guess what? Successful people, and I could say this from experience, when I am better at certain areas, right? If someone's approaching me with jealous attitude, I can sense that. Of course, everybody can sense it. But if someone's approaching me and they're quite happy in their own state of life, but they just want to improve and learn from me, I also recognize it. And what happens then? Then I want to mentor them. Then I want to encourage them. Do you know what I mean? So do not limit yourself from future success by being so close-minded and being so unhappy for other people thriving in their own lives. And take the philosophy for minimalism. You don't even have to limit any of your possessions. You don't have to practice minimalism, but do practice the mindset of understanding that all of us are at different positions in our lives. We have different strengths, different beauties, just like variety of flowers all over the world. and we can all bloom at our own pace in our own environment and prioritize what matters to us the most, and that will make you happier immediately. I hope this video helped, and without further ado, let's start this week's Minimalist home tour. Let's go. Hello everyone, I'm back with this week's Minimalist home tour. As you can see, this is my usual home state. It's not particularly super clean. I haven't really put away my dryers. I need to wear these socks. And a couple things are out and about, and I'll go through them with y'all. But of course, here's my bedroom and my floor bed. I love it. It's barely big enough for, one person, but you can kind of fit two. And of course, there's my foldable table. Usually, if I'm not using the table, I can fold them and then put them in this little corner. Or I sometimes put away my laundry rag in that corner as well. My laundry rag is also foldable. You can see there are like some joints and stuff on this side. And you can see a water bottle on the floor. But yeah, so that's what's going on. And we'll go into the closet as usual. Here's pretty much all my clothes. Still out and about. You can see these puffers. Actually, I've washed my 2 puffer vest and my coat because I'm planning on putting them away into the suitcase. So all the colder weather clothes will be put away pretty soon. I haven't done that just yet. So these are all the clothes that I own basically, besides the ones I'm wearing, of course. And over here, these are clothes that I've worn at least once. That's why they're not with the clean clothes. So yeah, this exercise shirt, I put it out because it's not completely dry yet, but it is clean. Of course, I've got like my underwears and stuff tucked away in that little basket over there. And here's my jewelry. I've also decluttered my jewelry, so I only have 2 sets of earrings and my ring right here, and then my jade bracelet right here, and then this little bracelet my friend gave to me from Vietnam. And of course, there's a hairstyling tool. And we will move into the bathroom. And here's a little bag that's hanging. So once my laundry dries from the laundry rack and I don't feel like folding them, I'll put them away in here instead of throwing them on the floor or something, so my room can stay somewhat clean. My OG subscribers already know that. But yeah, of course, here's shampoo and conditioner, and this is my bathroom. You can dismount the little shower head over there, so this is a wet bathroom. So usually when I shower, I would like give my floor a little bit of a scrub, which is exactly what I did. It's not completely clean, but like I'll give it like a little bit of clean, and some of the mold like around there is gone, which is lovely. And of course, there's my cleaning tools and my hygiene products. Speaking of hygiene products, someone asked me why I don't have feminine hygiene products. Oh, so many toilet paper rolls. It's because I am on long-term birth control and it doesn't make me bleed on most months, but sometimes I'll get irregular bleeding. So right now I'm actually having periods, which means like a lot more bleeding now. I still can't get pregnant, maybe 0.1% chance. But so I need to get some pads today, which is what I'm going to do. I'm not gonna go through those. You can see there's like deodorant, face cream and so on and so forth. But I'm in a bit of a rush, so we'll go into the kitchen. But before we do, of course, here's my work laundry that I put in this bag. So another thing that I haven't mentioned is sometimes my work laundry will not be dried completely overnight. So in which case I would actually put them in this bag and take them to work. And I also have a drying rack that I only keep at work where I'll allow these things to dry, so on and so forth. So yeah. That's what's going on. And over here, I had a bit of a flooding situation yesterday because one of the pipes that drains the water from my washer is in the cabinet. I'll just show you. And it became kind of like dislocated. So yeah, one of these things became dislocated, so I had a bit of a flooding situation, which really stressed me out because I was planning on recording home tour earlier. But yeah, so that's why I had to like kind of do an emergency mopping, and it's a little bit wet still. But yeah, I fixed the situation, which is great. And of course, here's my little kitchenette. As you can see, this is my trash bag. It's getting almost full. I keep my trash bag in here without a trash can, so it can kind of stay propped up like that. And of course, in my kitchen cabinet, I keep a bunch of miscellaneous items. As you can see, it's pretty empty because I need to put away my rice packets in there. I just haven't done that yet because I have rice packets that I kept at work as well, so I don't really need them right now. And of course, I've got the extra mannequin head that I need to use pretty soon. And another thing that I wanted to show you, I got new pairs of very adorable shoes. I got these for free actually from a shopping website in Korea, and they had like a welcome back coupon. So when I ordered it was $0. I actually called the, I'm not used to getting things like just for free, so I actually called them and I was like, I think something's wrong, and they told me, no, that's fine, I think you used the coupon. So I was like, nice, new pair of shoes for free. I do say, I said I don't get stuff for free, but I do get lucky quite sometimes. I think it's just part of my life. I'm a lucky girl, what can I say? So that was my home tour for this week, and without further ado, let's just go to the outro. So that was my home tour for this week. I hope y'all liked it. If you liked it, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time with more content. Bye! Stay happy! Mwah.